Hi there, I'm Ina Speak Simply Malekesh, and this is my channel. And I share with you about sex, relationship, intimacy, and spirituality one bite at a time. And today's topic is something I'm choosing to read to you. This was sent to me by a friend, and it is When the Masculine Meets the True Feminine. And it was written by Joey Spadaro, and this was February 21, 2020. I put this up on my Facebook, and how it impacted me when I read this was this man truly understands something about sacred spirituality. So forgive me for reading it, but these are his words that I want to share with you. When the masculine meets the true awakened feminine, it arouses a new sensation in him and activates specific levels of consciousness that demand his full attention. The awakened, whole, conscious feminine does not act needy or desperate around the masculine. This does not mean that she does not acknowledge her deep inner desire and sacred requirements for the masculine presence to be in her life. She knows this better than any woman who has not yet opened up to her full powers and strengths. The awakened woman knows that the masculine plays a vital role in her life journey and has the ability to open her up in ways that she cannot do alone. In essence, she wants the masculine from a searingly profound place in her soul. And this want can be put on hold for years and years, decades even, if she is not being met with the kind of masculine presence and devotion she needs in order to serve her sacred feminine role. When the masculine meets the conscious feminine vibration, it instantly realizes what is needed. The masculine energy is stirred deeply and feels a pull on the soul strings of his lost, dry, and forgotten heart. He realizes, although it is easy to lose himself in the glorious Shakti sway of her body and the warmth of her sacred eyes, in order to stand next to her as a totem of divine masculine strength, he must rise up in his own life. Her spiritual energy will cause his own to awake up to himself. He will become quickly aware that it will not be enough to lazily get what he wants and leave. He will recognize that even if he enters into a relationship with her, that her trust in him will not deepen unless he starts seriously showing up in his own life and begin to rise like a phoenix towards his full purpose. Her awakened energy will not tolerate the spiritually sleepy masculine tendencies toward laziness, denial, avoidance, staying in the comfort zone, procrastination, cowardice, and over-reliance on quick fixes and instant gratification. Her sacred energy will pull him up out of his coma and avoidance tactics so that he feels on a visceral level just how potent and transformational loving she could be. He will also feel how loving her and being a recipient of the healing codes in her body instigates a firing of his neurons and electrical transmitters in his system, sparking him into awareness of just how much of a man he is required to evolve into. He realizes that she is the greatest gift that has ever crossed his path. He realizes that he may never have another opportunity like this one to be supported in becoming the best version of himself possible. He is aware that there is no other woman on the planet who could love him like this and fire up his energy centers into creating the divine purposes he has always wanted to live, but has always been too scared to fully commit to. It is his decision whether or not he is brave enough to take the challenge of loving and standing next to a woman who has claimed her place as a sacred, feminine warrior and holy chalice of love. It is really his decision in many ways, because although she will be the one to decide whether or not she wishes to see him again or let him into her world, she is always doing that based on the quality of truth and assurance, purposefulness and willingness that she receives from him. When his higher being brings him to a whole woman, he must sit and contemplate in order to realize that he has chosen this meeting, because a significant part of him is ready to ascend into being a whole man. This is a huge deal, because he most likely has not had any role models of this evolved male energy in his life. He doesn't have to be faultless, a know-it-all, flashy, a movie star, or good-looking. He only has to nurture that spark within his precious masculine heart that wants to be the best man that he can be. He only has to be willing and humble enough to learn from the feminine, listen to her responses to his actions, and realize that she is the divine oracle for him, showing him where he needs to pull himself up. His soul really only wants to declare something like this: I want to bathe in the sweet, sacred radiance of your eternal light for the rest of my days, and remember daily what a gift you are to my soul. I want you to be the sacred mirror on all the ways that I sabotage myself, deny myself, restrict myself, and flunk out on myself. I want to hear that you trust me. I want to show you that your trust is well judged, and that I realize how your ability to trust me makes a difference in how deeply you can open your body and heart when we are together. I want you to walk into brave new territories, risking rejection and even failure, so that your trust in me soars like a bird in flight. I realize that your sexual attraction to me increases exponentially every time I take a risk to rise into my divine masculine power and purpose. I want to be a pioneer of a new movement of consciousness, evolving, willing, and open-hearted males, defying the old paradigms and awake enough to walk beside a woman who are challenging the world forever, a woman who is changing the world forever. I might not remember any of this much of the time, and I may stumble, fall, collapse, or sometimes fail at it. I want only to remember that my willingness to live my sacred truth and my desire to do everything I can to earn your trust are enough. I want only to remember that if I shut down my heart at the first hint of truth that comes from your mouth, your body language, your expressions, I will not win this game. I want to only remember that you cannot be expected to mother me into being a grown-up if I want to have a sexually vital and transformative love life. I do not want you to be my mother. We need manifestations for men of the light to follow now, because it is vital that they stand up and realize their true worth and value in the advancing new age. Awake women do not want to batter men, criticize them, punish them, or shut their hearts and bodies down to them. Whole women want men, their unwavering hard presence, their rock-solid actions, their warrior hearts, their dynamic pursuing energy. Many men of the light are choosing to cross paths with soul-embodied women now. This is because their soul recognizes that it is time to rise up into purpose, and the desire to connect with the embodied sacred feminine will ignite that purpose. A woman who is on the path of light will not settle for any man, no matter how deeply she has longed for the masculine presence. She has no desire nor energy to rescue, mother, nag, or coach a man into loving her. Yet the awakened woman carries more compassion, more unconditional love, more ability to support and nurture, more generosity, and more sexual power than any other. There are limitless, never-ending, eternally abundant rewards for any man who is courageous enough to risk his heart and life purpose for such a female. Please embrace these thoughts. Please awaken to who you are as truly a needed, vibrant, masculine presence on the universe. And women, please awaken to what your true power is, and that it is always to honor and respect each other, and to provide more than you ever thought was possible. Through the grace of God, Great Spirit, may it be done.